Hey folks, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Racing Show here at RacePlazaMedia. My name is Pia, and today we are celebrating a birthday, folks. Birthday of the 28th ever F1 World Champion. You might have already guessed it, of the man with El Plan. It is Fernando Alonso. His birthday is on July 29th, so we thought, what day is better to bring out a video about the man? Today I'm not going to break down his career. Of course, he has this incredible career that is still going on very successfully in F1. Maybe not as successful as he would like, but he's still competing at this incredible level. However, today I thought I wanted to share 8 fun facts about the two-time world champion with you. Of course, you know already that he's a two-time world champion. At the start of his career, he was the youngest man to ever start a race, be a pole sitter, and the youngest person who has ever achieved the fastest lap. Of course, those records have now changed over the years because it has been such a long time. He started racing in 2002. We know that he has won his championships in 2005 and 2006, and very highly contentious championships again, the then very dominant Michael Schumacher. But, I mean, as mentioned, he's had this incredible racing career. So the facts I wanted to share with you today are not necessarily too much F1 related. I thought some fun facts would be fun on Fernando Alonso's birthday today. So, first fun fact, in 2006, Fernando Alonso became the very first Spanish F1 driver to win the prestigious Monaco Grand Prix. Actually, before him, there haven't been too many successful Spanish F1 drivers. There were 11 drivers before him, and only one of them has ever landed on the podium in 1956. Number 2, which I thought was so interesting, but it also makes a lot of sense because he's had this really long career, very successful career. So in 2015, a museum was opened up in his name to commemorate his success with trophies that he's collected throughout the years from F1 and also karting. There are different helmets and outfits, and there's also drawings from karting circuits that he has created or thought of, which I thought was so funny. So in 2021, right before he rejoined F1, before a little bit of a break, he apparently gave the museum £2 million because he thought the museum was too small. They needed to expand to really be able to house and display his successful career. Number 3. So in 2017, he has signed as a member of the Real Madrid soccer team. Well, sort of. He's an honorary member of the Real Madrid soccer team, but they did the whole process, which is very typical when they initiate a new player. They did the picture with the football club president where they hold up the jersey with his name and his number on it. And so he was signed on as an honorary member. So he's been an honorary member of the club since 2017. And when people ask him, why are you a Real Madrid fan? I mean, of course, there's Barcelona is a really big fan, but they have many great soccer teams in Spain. So the question is always, why are you a Real Madrid fan? And he's like, I don't know why I'm a Real Madrid fan. I don't know why I have brown eyes. Real Madrid chose me, just like millions and millions other fans. Real Madrid chose me to be a fan. And now he's an official honorary team member. Moving on to number 4. Of course, lots of us know already that he has tried and dabbled into different types of racing. There's also a quote of him where he says that the way for him to be one of the best race car drivers ever is to either supersede Michael Schumacher and win an 8th world championship in Formula 1, which he says is not really a possibility. So he wants to be instead a successful winning race car driver in a bunch of other types of categories. So over the years, he has done that. First off, in 2017, he indeed he skipped the Monaco Grand Prix and instead decided to participate in the Indy 500. Now, of course, he didn't have a lot of Indy experience. He's only raced 110 laps on an oval track in an Indy car prior to the race. However, he did so much prep otherwise. He watched a lot of footage, he talked to a lot of people, he did video analysis just to prepare himself as much as possible for the race, and he actually did really, really well. He ended up qualifying in 5th, so he started the race in 5th place. By lap 37, he started leading the race. He led the race for several laps. However, at the end, he had to DNF due to engine failure. Moving on to number 5. So not only did he participate in the Indy 500, but he also participated in endurance races, specifically starting in the season of 2018. He competed in the 6-hour endurance race at Spa. He also participated in the 24-hour race at Le Mans, which he won that race twice. 2 times the 24-hour race. Of course, it's not a single person race. He was part of a successful team, but they worked together to win the Le Mans twice in also, yet again, a Toyota-powered vehicle. So now Fernando Alonso is part of a very elite and select few of drivers who have won a Formula One title as well as won a Le Mans race. Included in that elite group are Graham Hill, Phil Hill, Jochen Rindt, and Mike Hawthorne. However, Fernando Alonso's goal, and he tried his very best to be the second person to win the Triple Crown, a Monaco Grand Prix, a Le Mans, a 24-hour race at Le Mans, as well as the Indy 500. The only other person so far to have won that Triple Crown is Graham Hill. Fernando Alonso has done his best so far, but I would dare say that maybe he will give Indy 500 another shot to allow himself another chance at this Triple Crown. Number 6, in 2020, Fernando Alonso took on the huge challenge of competing at Dakar, at the Dakar Rally with his teammate Mark, and they did so pretty successfully, dare I say, especially it being their first Dakar Rally with them having very little prior experience. They've competed in 2 rallies prior to it in 2019. They've participated in the rally in Morocco and also one in South Africa. And then they also had a 2-month of intense training leading up to Dakar. They ended up finishing in 13th place. However, they finished Dakar, which is huge. And then they also did have some great times throughout the different stages. They did, of course, have some crashes. There were also some issues with directing the routes. However, that I think is a great first result for Dakar, and I can definitely see him go back to Dakar whenever he feels like it, because Dakar is not necessarily a young man's game. Carlos Sainz's dad, Formula One Carlos Sainz's dad, Carlos Sainz Jr., had just competed in this year's Dakar and ended up winning it yet again. All right, folks, I have 2 more fun facts for you. They're a little bit shorter, but I just thought those were interesting. So fun fact number 7 for you is, maybe it's not necessarily a fun fact, but I thought it was a very interesting fact, is that Fernando Alonso has the Poland syndrome, which is a birth defect essentially where a chest muscle is underdeveloped. So when you see shirtless pictures of him, you might see some differences between his left and his right pec muscle. And this Poland syndrome is something that occurs in only 1 of 20,000 people. There's no clear cause as why it happens. It can show up differently in different people. Some people have either web fingers or shorter fingers, but in his case, as far as I know, the only visual sign of the Poland syndrome is that he is missing the right pec muscle. And lastly, fun fact, and this is definitely a fun fact, number 8, which I also think he might not be the only one, but as I was doing research about Fernando Alonso, I just thought that this was funny that this had come up. But he can crack a walnut with his neck. So he puts it essentially between his shoulders and his neck, and then he can crack a full Walnut, which might be a more common thing amongst F1 drivers, maybe even IndyCar drivers, just due to the neck strength that they need because of the G-forces. But I just thought this was a funny thing to see. I mean, even that people just would attempt trying to crack a nut with their necks. I hope you enjoyed this little fun fact. I hope, period, that you enjoyed these little fun tidbits about Fernando Alonso. I tried to find things that might not be as common knowledge, or just to amplify what an amazing career he has had thus far, being the oldest F1 driver on the grid currently. And I mean, if you are watching the races, he's still doing phenomenally. I don't think he has the best car on the grid currently, and I wish I would see him in a better car. However, I don't know if that's possible at this point of his career anymore, but I'm excited to see what else will happen in Fernando Alonso's career. And if you're ever in Spain, I hope you will also visit his museum. I would definitely, if I ever make it to that side of the world, I would for sure visit the museum of Fernando Alonso, just because I also think it's interesting. And I would love to see his trophies and the cars and helmets and everything. And with that, I will leave you guys for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And please remember to like and subscribe. Happy birthday to Fernando Alonso, the man with El Plan. And have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.